Good morning, it's Becky Williams with Rage Against the Regime, Blog Talk, Podcast, Radio. We had a technical issue last night. We seem to be having a lot of issues on Blog Talk as of lately. We know that they are controlled by the UN and a communist who heads up a program for Blog Talk Radio, also on podcast. So bear with us. We know the NSA and the government doesn't like the truth that we display on our Blog Talk show. So I would like to redirect. We will be doing the show tomorrow. Once again, we'll make an attempt at 7 p.m. on Wednesday to release the information. Listen, we have some really, really important information going on. Gene Smith, one of our lead researchers who spends hundreds and hundreds of hours every month doing nothing but detangling the web, if you will, of the cabal, the corporations, the New World Government, the EU. Her list of accolades is too huge to list. So she gave me a phone call on late Sunday evening, with some very disturbing news. She had come across in her research a video wherein the president of the EU in 2009 stated that the New World Order had commenced. And with that said, let that resonate. That's very, very disturbing. He announced that everything was in order and that we were now being governed under a New World Order. This is when Obama came into office. This Arab, portraying himself as a half Negro, came in to separate the country and the masses, and they've done a very good job in that area. But he steps up, comes out of nowhere. Suddenly, he's president. Let me be clear: he was not elected; he was placed. Voting for the president and the vice president of this country is theater. I say this because I have studied the Electoral College. So the Electoral College is who actually supposedly votes or positions the president and the vice president of the nation. And there is no oversight committee, either federally or constitutionally, to assure you that they cast their votes according to popular vote in their area. So 2009, Obama steps into office. He's Satan himself. In my opinion, he is the devil's minion. We have watched him destroy this country, destroy other countries around the globe. We've seen him aid and abet the enemy, fund the enemy. This guy is just evil. He's evil to the core. But he's been positioned by a world government. I call him the finisher, to put the nail in the coffin in America and around the world. Anyway, so she calls me and Jean, gives me this information. It's very disheartening, which really explains why Congress and the military have not stepped up to the plate to remove Obama and his regime. Furthermore, we go back to 2012 when the currency was reset, when they ceased to continue a tracking of financial documents, Bureau statistics. You can look it up yourself. Anything that you might want to look up as far as statistics or following the capital funding, things of that nature, you're gonna have a very difficult time finding anything on statistics. So as of 2012, after they reseated Obama, the evil regime of the New World Order has moved forward, and they now do not care whether the people can hold them accountable. So they've actually removed much of the evidence or the status quo for the bookkeeping, if you will, in several areas. I mentioned before on one of my shows that in 2012, I pulled up the statistics last January, it was 2014, looking for statistics on small to medium business, the inner infrastructure of America for the business ownership, because I was having a hard time making a living in merchant services because of the foreign gap with the Muslims in particular, and with a language barrier with the Orientals and with the Mexicans. It seemed that I was running into more doors trying to do business because of foreign entities, running into less American-owned businesses who I could service with an account. So I go back into the government.gov site documents at the time, and it was 65 to 70% of the small to medium businesses were currently owned by immigrants. That's right, folks, immigrants. So I started doing a little more digging, and a situation that had occurred some years back. I needed assistance. I needed operating capital for my business due to the fact that my daughter had to be put in ICU, had to use my capital for my business to pay for her hospital stay. I had no insurance, as I said, and I had to close the doors on my business. I was living in my van. I lost my home, had to sell many of my things. I was in a very bad situation. I was forced to wait tables, 16-hour shifts for a living to get out of that situation, because when I went to the Small Business Administration and took my documents and my prospectus for my business showing that it was profitable, I explained to them what had happened. They told me then that I needed to have 50% collateral for the amount of money that I was asking to borrow, and good credit. Being as young as I was, obviously, with my business going upside down, I took a big hit on my credit in some areas because I was unable to pay my bills. So that was an impossibility. At the end of the day, what happened, I sat in the lobby with a couple from Africa who could barely speak good English, been here less than 30 days. They were there to pick up their $200,000 check to start their business. They were elated to be in America. What a wonderful country, land of opportunity. Okay for everybody but a white American, apparently. So I did a little more study after I checked the Bureau of Statistics for ownership and business, and I start finding documents through the Small Business Administration and some of the other facilities or organizations that offer funding for startup capital for business. And I find that whites are excluded. And most disturbing was when I started looking at government contracts that you can bid on as a business owner in certain areas. The exclusion that was actually written into the government document for bid stated no white male-owned business, let that resonate, may bid on this contract. That's right. It stated no white-owned male business, and let's just slip our own verbiage in there, may prosper by being awarded this contract for a government contract. That was highly disturbing to me. So what we're witnessing right now is some very disturbing things. Now look, we've got Jade Helm, this so-called operation. Folks, listen. 2009, the EU president announces that New World Governance has been implemented. 2012, we have a currency reset. Obama's reseated. He's put everything in a fast-forward motion, opened the floodgates up to hell on the border, erasing the border from a foreign country, a hostile foreign country, aided and abetted the foreign invaders. They're not illegal immigrants. That's an oxymoron in itself. They are not immigrants at all. They're foreign invaders that have come in with purpose. We lose more lives to foreign invaders in America. We lose more lives in 1 year than we lost in a 12-year Iraqi war. So understand that is a declaration of war. We are at war with Mexico. But not just Mexico, every other country that's come through that border that has committed the felonious crime of involuntary manslaughter or manslaughter in this country, or even, rape, pedophilia, robbery, theft, doesn't matter. That is an active war on the American people. We are at war, and it has been propagated by our own government, who is the world governance. We have finally have found out. So Jade Helm, I believe, is the final nail in the coffin. I believe, from research and from the events that are unfolding, Obama decimated our military. That was his purpose. He's the finisher. New World Order. Remember, people, they've asked several times our military if they will fire on the American people. Those that will not will be removed. They have been removed. They've stepped down, been court-martialed. In some cases, even been put in jail for ignoring an order stating that they will not. They will be insubordinate. So we have over 3,000 heads of military, from lieutenant to admiral, colonel positions that have been removed by Obama. We have seen a replacement of Islam, and we already know Islam wants to kill the infidel. They hate Americans. They love our money. And by the way, stop doing business with these bastards. Please, seriously. It is a convenience store. No. Drive right by it, find an American-owned business, go to the grocery store, go to an American-owned racetrack or, QT or whatever you have in your state. Please. That's where you get your gas. That's where you buy your goods. Stop funding the enemy. They're here to kill you. They're here to take away your prosperity. But anyway, so Obama, we were all up in arms, he's not eligible. He's not eligible. So this is not tyranny. This is espionage. It's war. War has been cast down upon us by a usurper. Our government has been taken over. It's a shadow government. It's a fiat government. That's why they laugh at you when you claim your constitutional rights. They've tried unsuccessfully to disarm us. We have a couple of states that have gotten on board with them, but for you people out there, shame on you for allowing your government to do that to you in your states. You really ought to be raising 9 kinds of hell with them. So Obama is reseated. He sits as head of Security Council, which, by the way, is unconstitutional and against the law. He's not supposed to do that as a president of the United States. That's a no-no, and this is the reason why. The head of Security Council, Security Council, Security Council, I'm going to say that over and over again so you understand what that position is. He is in control of UN troops. Yes he is. And he's in control of deployment for their FEMA program, UNICEF, and Red Cross, and all that other garbage. Just like he orchestrated this humanitarian crisis on the border. You liar! You liar! You pig and thief! You lying devil's minion! There was no humanitarian crisis. Well, let me rephrase that. There is one, but it's against the American people. The humanitarian crisis is actually on the American citizen right now in the United States, and the veterans that are homeless. And the people that are being murdered by these filthy vermin that have come across that border without welcome. And for you, Mr. Obama, signing an executive order to amnesty doesn't exclude you from the crime you've already committed. Let's get that right, you filthy piece of shit. Okay? You unleashed war on the American people. And by a stroke of your magic little wand, your pen, you really believe that you can't be held accountable, but you will, sir. So, here's what we have in a nutshell. 2012 comes around, they stop logging statistics at the Bureau. We're having a hard time tracing the money. We're not in control of the money. Congress can say yay or nay if they want to. They're being controlled. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you something. All of you guys right now, you're guilty of tyranny. Cruz is not a good pick for president. Rubio's not a good pick for president. None of the bastards are, because they're all guilty of tyranny. Period, 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 period. Period. You're guilty. You're guilty of misprision. You're guilty of treason. People, please look it up. Do your homework. If you're going to hold debate on this, then you need to be educated in it so you don't look like an idiot when you come to the table and go, no, they're not. No, they're not. Yes, they are. They are, because they know he's not eligible. They know he's a foreign entity. They know he's usurped the government. They know the New World Order governance has been put in place. That's why they're not acting on these things that need to be handled. The Constitution is null and void, and now they're saying that by action that our state constitutions are null and void, and that we have no sovereignty, that we have no rights whatsoever, and we have to go along status quo with whatever the hell they put in place. We are corrupt from municipalities to the state government to the federal level, and we need to stop the madness. Problem is this. Wednesday on my show, I'll disclose the rest of the information that I need to give you. That was enough to get you started, to put a little taste on your palate, tantalize your taste buds with the information. Listen, everything that I give you on this show is accurate information. We are not in the habit of fear-mongering or delivering misinformation. We're in trouble. We're in trouble deep. I have a plan for Texas, the rest of this country. You need to, seriously, I'm trying to lead by example here as I do every time I step up to the podium. And I paint a huge target on my forehead. I expect the feds to come in and try to kick my door in. By the way, y'all need to stay the hell away, because you're guilty too. You better search your hearts, and you better look at your families, and you better understand these people are not your friend, and that paycheck isn't worth what it's about to cost you, because your family's lives are at as much risk as ours are. It's like playing Russian roulette. For you people out there that got a lot of lip service and a lot of keyboard warriors, you better start stepping up to the plate and taking some action. You better get off the social media network. You better get out and get public and come together as an organized front, because I'm going to tell you something. We are surrendering without resistance if we fail to take action. Period. It's going to take more than a phone call. It's going to take more than sitting on a keyboard. It's going to take more than emails and petitions. We've already seen them ignore that across the board. Doesn't matter what we do. We can't depend on the media to tell the masses the truth, so it's your job and my job, and we can't do it from inside of our house. We have to be vocal. We have to take action. We have to organize. Listen, if 50,000, 20,000, whatever the numbers are, these black folk, let's just call them idiots, because that's what they are, that are destroying cities in droves every time a black man dies who's a criminal at the hands of the cop. And I'm not justifying what the cops have done, because I think it's wrong. We got a lot of bad cops out there using excessive force. Shame the hell on you, and that's criminal. You should be in jail, not on the other end of putting people in jail, in my opinion. But I will tell you this. As a white society, and I'm not trying to cause a racial, fire here. I'm just going to state truth, facts. I'm not going to be politically correct. I'm just going to say the truth. 360, I don't remember the number. It's like 368 white individuals were killed by cops last year and the year before, and 160 some odd black. Okay, shut up. Black America. Everybody's lives count, not just black lives. You either get on board, be a part of the human race, and stop separating us and destroying cities every time one of your fools gets killed. There's some that are not deserving of excessive, I can't even say excessive force, restraint with force. Let's just put it that way. And some are, just like some white, some Mexicans, some Chinese, doesn't matter what you call it. You see, crime knows no color. Foolishness knows no color. Indecency knows no color. Listen, it's not a discriminator. When we stop saying black, white, yellow, red, green, purple, and start saying humanity, we're going to please God and we're going to please each other. As brothers and sisters, we know we have each other's back, and we're going to stop this damn division. But anyway, if the blacks can come together and act like idiots and destroy cities and businesses and people's lives at the drop of a friggin' hat, what the hell is wrong with you, patriots? Why can't you come together and gather in the street? I don't want you to be destructive. I want you to be constructive. When we call you to Rally in presence. Off your couch. Stop making excuses. I know you. I know you're out there. Well, I don't have the money to travel. Yeah, could you supersize my order and I'll have a double cheeseburger? I'll take the number 6 meal. Yeah. Supersize that. Can you throw in a couple? You know what? Shut up. Get your priorities straight. I'm not saying you don't deserve those things. You've worked hard for them. But really, people, you can't put together 2 squeaky pennies with your mates and carpool and get to a function. Seriously, you can't forego your Starbucks coffee or your Happy Meal at the window to deliver us from evil. What the hell is wrong with you? Stop it! We are trying to save this country. I'm trying to help you save your families, me and so many others. Stop. Budget. Carpool. Pack a lunch. Pack a tent. Pack a sleeping bag. But for God's sake, show up. Listen, I need leaders to step up to the plate. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know I ruffled a bunch of feathers this morning. I hurt your little feelings. You got butt hurt because I started screaming and poking at you. I'm doing it because, as any good leader would, I am trying to get through to you. And I've tried candy coating it. I've tried being politically correct. I've tried to use nothing but friendly verbiage. I've tried to persuade with kindness, and now I'm angry. I'm just pissed off. You know why I'm pissed off? Because I'm about to watch myself and my children be destroyed because collectively we can't seem to organize and come together and stop the madness. We have avenues to stop the revolution and to stop the madness. But our window is getting very skinny. The head operation for Jade Helm in the state of Texas, you ready? Y'all want to know where they've set up? Right outside the capital of Austin. That's right, they're just right outside of Austin. Big military force trying to tie the hands of the Texans from removing government officials that are aiding and abetting and demanding that the governor step away from the Jade Helm operation. Tell them, never mind, we've had a change of heart. You need to pack up your shit and get out of our state. And we're going to secure our own borders. Sorry about that little Barry Muslim piece of shit up there in Washington. We want to secure our borders. So we need to call on our state guard. That's the governor's position as commander-in-chief. We need to call on the state guard. He needs to call on the militia. And we need to seal that border. And every benefit for every foreign invader that's in this country, from free lunches to EBT to the car program to the free housing, needs to be shut down, shut off immediately. Cut it off. The card goes dead. Cut it off. The free lunch is done. Cut it off. Cut them off at the knees. Cut them off. Cut them off. They have nowhere to go. When they start roaming the streets, you pack them back up in the same damn buses you brought them in here on. And you send them right back to that border and you kick them out on the other side of it. You move our borders back where they belong, not 45 to 100 miles inside of American soil. No, sir. It's right there on the border where it's supposed to be. And you put a wall of people up there and you exercise, let us exercise the same right that every other country can. If we have to, shoot to kill. If you're coming across there illegally, you know what? I don't know who you are. You're not trying to do things the right way. What the hell are you hiding and what's your purpose? You're a combatant. Sorry, you don't come across. Turn your weapon on them. If they keep coming or they fire at you, shoot them dead. It's an act of war. It's what it is. That's how you secure a border. They do it in Europe, in the Middle East, all over the world. All over the world. They handle the border situation accordingly. We don't have broken immigration. We've got an immigration in place policy that needs to be exercised. Anyway, back to it. I'm sorry I'm ranting and raving this morning. I'm really furious about the tech issue I had yesterday on Blog Talk. Just less than 15 minutes into the show, I started getting the indication from Blog Talk, to 5 minutes until your show ends. And then it took it down to 30 seconds, and I was like, what the hell? Then it gave me more than 30 minutes overage, so I'm pretty sure that nothing was archived, nothing was saved, that nobody heard much of anything. So I'm gonna take another shot at it on Wednesday. NSA, seriously, you're probably a foreign entity and you don't really give a shit about America. Whoever you are running the NSA and eavesdropping on everybody, listen, you need to back off. You need to leave us alone. Let's get the word out. You need to let us do what we need to do. If you have any soul whatsoever, you need to understand what's about to happen in America is going to be very, 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 very scary. Jade Helm is not a ops operation. Jade Helm is not some exercise. It's too big. It's too big, people. Everything points to it's too damn big to just be an exercise. They've limited it. They've had these exercises in certain states, in certain areas, solitarily. Okay, across the board. Never on a scale like this. This is the final nail in the coffin. They've taken over the government. They've taken over the banking. They've taken over the industry. All that's left is take over the American people. And how are they going to do that? Well, they're doing it just like this. Jade Helm setting up the perimeters, setting up the command posts, bringing in foreign troops to operate with them. Those are UN troops and foreign troops. We've already seen the absolute proof that they're here. We know what's going on with the equipment. We're in trouble. Okay, pardon me. So Wednesday, join me on the show. I won't be so off the wall and here and there and bouncing from this point to that point. I'll be more direct and structured in deliverance. You'll have to forgive me. Didn't sleep well last night, but I did finally just pass out, and it's very early in the morning. I'm trying to have a cup of coffee and wake up. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Listen, need you to get it out to 5 people and have them get it out to 5 people and have them get it out and so on and so forth. That's how we're going to grow the numbers because, listen, I'm dependent on you. I'm nothing without you. I cannot lead by example if I can't get people to listen and give them direction to verify, to validate the information I'm giving out and then act accordingly. It's not my responsibility to save your families, but I'm stepping up to the plate. It's actually your responsibility. It's your responsibility. So you better rethink your priorities. You better recheck yourself. And I understand that you guys are all battling with us, sharing information, but sharing information isn't going to save this country. Action is going to save this country. This is a Christian nation. And for you atheists out there that just heard me say that, sorry if that was a butt hurt, but, you know, truth is truth. We need to get it together, people. Because I'm a little angry that I'm trying so hard and we're still not coming together. I'm trying to help you help yourself. Myself and many of the others that have stuck their neck on the chopping block become a target for the government at a local level to a federal level simply by speaking out and stating truth have been now deemed domestic terrorist. I'm anything but a terrorist. I give the shirt off my back. I bring no harm to anyone, but I sure as hell am not going to run from the fight. I'm gonna hit it head on, and I'm gonna do it with action. So, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Rage Against the Regime podcast radio. Please, seriously, bring your friends, bring as many as you can. We literally need tens and hundreds of thousands even to be on board and to hear the information that's going to be delivered. Our window is closing. They haven't waited until July 15th with the Jade Helm operation. We're in trouble. We're in trouble deep, people. So this is Becky Williams with Rage Against the Regime podcast radio until, I guess, 7 p.m. tomorrow, unless I come up with something else I need to give you guys today. 7 p.m. Wednesday, Central Standard Time. Breaking news. Finish delivering what we have. I'll bring Jean to the show. She'll give you her source, and she'll deliver the rest of the message that I did not deliver today. Collectively, I need leaders to step up to the plate in Texas. I have a plan, try to avoid the revolution, and to put some heavy-duty pressure on the governor of Texas to do his job that he was elected for. So Until tomorrow, Becky Williams, Rage Against the Regime podcast. God bless you and thank you for listening in.